I'm Cookie, and we're here with Anaconda Joe. He's going to teach us how to survive in the wilderness.
Not live from Cookie's Woods, it's the weekly dose of real. I'm Anaconda Joe. Today we're going to find out how to survive in the wilderness. As you note here, we have some wilderness. Now the first thing you got to know about surviving in the wilderness is staying dry. And now that's really key. So I'm going to have to find a shelter. Around here it's a little tricky to find a shelter. Luckily for me, I've got this umbrella. Under my umbrella, Anyway, now that I've got this nice shelter that I can keep under and be high and dry, well, not really high, but at least kind of dry, it's time to figure out a way to keep warm, because if you get cold, you could die. Really die. The pirates used to inhabit these woods. And now, I think back to Peter Pan, and I think, where do pirates hide what they used most? Their treasure, their gold. And I remember an X marking the spot. Now, as we have here, this appears to be an X. I'm going to dig to see what's underneath. Maybe we might get lucky. Oh, it looks like we found something. We've got some lighter fluid, and it appears to be a bag of charcoal. Now this may not keep me the warmest, but it'll be enough to give me enough of a boost to really stay warm throughout the night and possibly cook some food. Now, in order to really survive, the body needs few things. The body generally needs water, but I'm Anaconda Joe and I don't. I don't need water at all, actually. I'm kind of like a camel. I can survive for 30 days without water. Something. Anyway, I need food. Now first, you gotta check for some fruits. Maybe some wild fruits or vegetables around that you could be able to find that would help me survive. Now as I look around up in the trees, I noticed that most of them are dead, and there isn't very much fruit on the end of these here limbs, as you can see. But I think I've gotten lucky, and I found hidden in this tree a fruit cup. Now I don't like fruit, so we're not going to eat it. So, in order for me to fully replenish myself, I'm going to need to hunt. And luckily for me, I always carry in my back pocket a bow. Now in these woods, there are always few rabbits and bears and things of that nature, but I don't have time to hunt those. I'm going to hunt something wild. Oh, looks like there is one now. Moving on. Over here, as you can see, I've got it. I've shot some wild Pop-Tarts. Now, as you notice, these Pop-Tarts are strawberry, which is very uncommon in these pots. Usually you find the cinnamon and sugar, and occasionally some of the chocolate variety. Now, these look very good, and as you can see, I can just bite into it and enjoy it. I'm going to save it for later, because I have to ration my food and trip over this bow. Now, the best thing in order to enjoy these Pop-Tarts is to start whittling some utensils. So, I'm going to do so. Now that I've whittled my utensils, I've got your fork, your knife, spoon, a napkin, some salt, and some pepper for flavor. Now, I'm going to lay these down for a second while I start to roast these on the open fire. Now, I'm going to go ahead and pour some of this charcoal I found in this pit and spray it down with the lighter fluid that you saw earlier. Now, the best thing everybody uses to light a fire in the woods would be traditionally to rub some two sticks together. But luckily for me, in these very woods, I have found quite another valuable utensil. This lighter, which I'm going to use to light this with my napkin that you saw earlier. I'm going to light the napkin on fire and drop it into the charcoal. Now, it doesn't look like it's catching quite as well as I'd hoped, so we're going to douse it just a little bit more, just to really get the fire going. Now, in order to cook me wild Pop-Tarts, I'm going to have to make a way for them to cook over this open fire. Now, using my fork that I found earlier, I can use it as an open roasting utensil like this. Now, it doesn't take much to cook a Pop-Tart, but I think now that we've got the Pop-Tart at a good eating temperature, I'm going to add a little bit of seasoning here to it, just a little pepper and some salt. And that'll make it delicious enough for me to enjoy. Delicious. And now, as you can tell, it's getting to be a little dark outside. So, in order to call this day a wrap, I'm going to cozy up by the fire under my umbrella.